Hey, what's up, guys? Teach me grappling. I'm here. I'm back. Got one person in the chat room. My hair looks crazy. Um, what's going on? Two people. Let's see, what time is it? It's already 11:13 p.m. out here on the West Coast. Eight people. What's up, guys? What's up, Kevin? Crazy Chemist. My night is good. So, Kevin, that's cool. You got a question? Did you watch Jake versus Gibb? I don't know which one you're talking about. Hello, Nelson. So, guys, I didn't do a video tonight, so I was like, "Damn, I gotta just go live. Just go live." Mohammed, what's up, my brother? So, what is a super chat, Adriana? What is that? I've heard that before. You know what I've heard? Because I've watched. What is that super chat option? I don't even know what it is. It says right now that my connection is unstable. It says I have to wait until they're trying to reconnect. I don't know if you guys can hear me, but oh, su- oh man, you get some beer money. I don't even drink alcohol, guys. All right, Nelson has a question. My question before you go to sleep: what's your opinion on the best half guard for MMA bottom? Um, Nelson, obviously what's on the brain right now is the lockdown because that's what I've been training guys in the gym. I think that if you know how to use a lockdown pretty well, I think it's a pretty good system. I think it'll work well in MMA. Again, you got to invest the time, but if you're not learning the lockdown system, you need to just learn how to simply bottom link control basic. You need to know how to hip escape, get on your side, and play the underhook style. It's two things basically from half guard bottom. You either frame hip escape away and go feet on the hips to basically stand back up, or you're gonna play if the guy's gonna come forward so that you don't go feet on the hips out of your half guard. He pressures forward, you play an underhook game, and you get on your side and play from there. There's lots of good stuff from there. Obviously, lockdown players don't prefer that; they prefer lockdown. There's plenty of guys that the lockdown is like it's almost like too technical, and they don't want to play that way. So they like to just get on their side, get their underhook, and get the game going. They can kind of go to their positions a little quicker. So anyway, what's up, Leonardo? Yes, I am live, Charles. Um, all right. Do you have any methods? I'm just guys, please stop. I'm losing it. Uh just keep the questions, guys. I'll go down the best I can, but if you guys keep like asking questions, I won't be able to get to it. All right. Do you have any methods for escaping or resisting a rear naked choke when on the ground? Yes. So regular Ricky, I have some videos. I have like obviously some. They're not very basic. Definitely I teach the basics at my gym, but the I have some different rear naked choke escapes. Some people may criticize, others really like it. It's kind of non-traditional. I talk about the head position. If my opponent's head is supposed to be on this position over here, that would mean his left arm would be coming across my neck. I like to a lot of times push his head and guide it towards the other side. And as I do that, I can start to create an escape. So I have a video on that. You can look that up. So just put rear naked choke escape and anything with teach me grappling, and then put rear naked choke escape, and it should come up, or RNC escape. So, all right, let me move on. Kevin, I was doing a knee bar from top half guard, leg free, left leg free, you take that leg and spin it around to face their legs. Yep. When I did that, my opponent grabbed my leg on their chest and I popped my knee tips. Yeah, you got basically knee barred when you were trying to go for a knee bar. So remember that happens, Kevin. You even if it was by an accident, even if it wasn't like a full on knee bar and you just got your knee popped, the point being when your right leg is in half guard and you have a leg between their legs, remember there is always a leg lock for both guys. My coach that brought me up used to say that he goes, anytime you have a leg between the legs, there's a leg lock. And so when you go for the leg lock, it's really important that you clear. When you bring your left leg around, you either have to go so wide that it misses his grip. You can do that also by controlling the wrist. I have a video on that. It is the Dean Lister knee bar attack. If you put in that with Teach Me Grappling, you'll get it. Or you can also do the method where you slide your left knee across the belt line, like knee on belly almost, and slide it across. I tend to not prefer that method. It is a method. So, or you can backstep. So if you want to backstep knee bar, that works as well. Charles asked, Coach, did you toot? No, I didn't. Sorry, I did not toot. And I don't use that word, toot, to describe farting, I think you mean. So let's see. Red Crayon, hey, Coach, have you ever been, okay, I got lost. Too many questions. Okay. Have you ever been injured a disc in your back? I've done BJJ for 2 years and I ruptured a disc getting taken down. Terrible sciatic pain. I want to know if I'll be able to come back. I'm sorry, I don't have a lot of experience with that. Today, I felt like I got shocked by a lightning bolt down my back. So I do have some low back stuff, which I think is the best way I can explain it. I think it's a little bit of like I must have a problem where there's bone on bone grinding. I feel that bone grind, and man, the pain is so sharp, and it kind of dropped me to my knees. I was like just praying that it wasn't gonna lock me up and keep me there. But thankfully, it was only for a second. But no, I other than low back problems, I don't know if I've ever had anything really bad. So sorry that you ruptured a disc. Um, I don't have that experience, but you know, it's all downhill from here. So it's probably coming. All right, best solo drill, home exercise to develop grappling skill. Solo drill. I mean, if I had to pick one, that's kind of difficult, but a hip heist drill is really important. Knowing a hip heist drill, pulsing on your hand, and then lifting your hip, and then sliding your leg out from underneath. That's going to help you get back up. It's going to help you transition back to your knees or your feet. You use it to escape. Like in wrestling, we use it for the peek out. You use it for a sit out. It's a good core grappling exercise, and it builds strength as well. It builds your core. It builds the upper body strength. It's a great solo drill. But hip escaping, there's so many drills. So is that inherently an unsafe attack? I believe that's the knee bar because of the potential for them to just snag your leg when you spin towards legs. I wouldn't say it's an unsafe attack if you set it up. So you have to set it up. Again, I would reference the Dean Lister knee bar attack that I have on my channel, or you can like look it up. He pulled it off in Abu Dhabi 2003. Don't remember who he pulled it off on, but I want to say it was Almeida. I want to say it was Almeida. But anyway, that's my guess. Lucas Leach, half guard. Yeah, oh, David. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like Lucas Leach, he doesn't, as far as I remember, he doesn't, I haven't studied him a ton, but I know that he calls it like the coyote half guard, which is like basically um, a basic half guard and then using the underhook and getting up in the dogfight. And that's something that I use all the time. So I know a lot of people give it to him, and with all due respect to Lucas Leach, he's very good. I like watching him. Um, I have watched him when he was like in his prime, and he's very entertaining to watch. But I just want to state, he didn't come up with that half guard. I mean, that half guard was done for a very long time, long before him, and I was doing it long before he was there. So anyway, but I'm not trying to talk smack. I'm just stating the fact that it's a great half guard system, though. So he's got some great details. But yes, that is the half guard that I was referring to. Every question that is paid for is highlighted and gets first option for a response by you. Oh, okay. Well, see, I don't even know how to do that, guys. So I appreciate all the help that I get for this channel, guys. Um, I'm not crazy greedy person, but maybe I'll figure that out. And then this super chat or whatever, I don't even know how to do it, but maybe I'll figure it out eventually. And then we can do that. I've got maybe about 40 people in the room, so I don't know. I'll try to get to as many questions as I can, guys. So I usually try to do this for about an hour. Um, let's see, it's about 11:24 right now. I don't know if I can do a full hour, but I'm gonna at least try to hit this till midnight with you guys. So still a little sick. All right. Standing twister from Cage, please. Justin asks, standing twister, just like a pro wrestling match, right? Um, Anything's possible, highly unlikely, anything's possible. So definitely I have done it before in training. I have done the standing twister. Um, but that would be interesting. So are you going to SawCon? I don't know what that means. Big Boy asks. So I don't know what SawCon is. I knew you. Okay, Nelson asks. I knew you were going to say lockdown. Thank you. Definitely, I see half guard underhook. Okay, Lethwy. I don't. I know I've seen your name quite a bit in the comment section. Maltai. Uh, what do you think of India's great wrestlers Gama Pelwani? Um, you know, obviously, like I don't know everything about India's history, but everyone has heard. Okay, not everyone, but I have heard of the Great Gama, which I hope or I think you're talking about. He's a very famous named wrestler. He's considered like the best wrestler in the world for his day, which was very long ago. I've read some of the stories. Um, I don't know what to think. I'm sure that there's got to be some like folklore, is my best guess, but there's probably a hell of a lot of truth to it as well. But I can't imagine it all being 100% true. Because when the stories I've read, you read them and they sound so much like fantasy, to be honest. But I'm sure that the guy was obviously an amazing wrestler. So Nelson, good night. Okay, Flying Guillotine by Charles. I'll try. I just realized Charles Gonzalez is one of my guys. It's one of my brown belts guys. Um, his name's Ryan. So Ryan Gonzalez Flying Guillotine. That's all he loves to try, and I make fun of him every time he does it. So Jacob Sirac. Uh, let's see. Jacob Sirac asks. I lost my position. Do you think Habib can out wrestle Usman? And how does Usman move so well with messed up knees? I don't know how he moves so well. Do I think Habib can out wrestle Usman? Um, yeah, I think he can, but giving up weight like that, that might be kind of like a good fight right there for watching the wrestling. Khabib is or Habib. I keep calling him Khabib. I gotta switch. I'm trying to switch to my pronunciation of Habib, but Habib is really, really amazing, guys. As you know, obviously. But what I'm saying is, when I watched the last fight with Poirier, Habib pushed Poirier against the fence, and I saw him do something that is not an easy thing to do, which leads me to believe, as you guys all already knew this, but he is very strong, and it's uncanny how strong Habib is. That when you see him grab Poirier, unless Poirier is not as high level as I thought, because I gave a lot of clout. Poirier's stock. I know he's not a wrestler, but he's a tough dude, and I expect him to be able to defend fairly well from the over under. Well, Habib grabbed on in the over under, and I mentioned this, I think, when I did a video on the fight. And he squeezed Poirier so much that you could see the look on Poirier's face that it caused him the pain, which I felt before millions of times in training. Um, it's a power. It means he's a powerful guy, and he squeezed so much that Poirier just said, "Fuck it, I just want out. I'm getting taken down. I can't do this anymore." So it was very interesting. Anyway, you know, so what I'm saying is there's an X factor that Habib has, and but would it carry over moving up a weight class? That I don't know because remember, he is. I know he looks unstoppable, but at some point, you just can't keep having success. At some point, it catches up. So that's all I got to say. Coach Brian, how to escape or counter the 200%? So, guys, the 200% is something that I came up with. Maybe somebody else has too. I believe Dean Lister sent me a message once, said on my video, he said that he used to do it and call it a steering wheel. But 200% is something I came up with. Remember, no move is 100%. So I ended up naming it 200% because it's basically 100%, but I feel like I made it better. So 200% is basically a rear naked chokehold on the arm instead of a palm to palm for the 100%, which is a 10th planet technique. But also, let me state, it is not originally a 10th planet technique. Everybody was doing it back then. It's just that Eddie named it 100% and nobody else really named it. We just had we just underhooked it and had the guy's head in our armpit, and you just turn the guy with your underhook. So we didn't really. A lot of people didn't have a name for it. Um, so anyway, the name stuck. Now everybody calls it 100%, and Eddie kind of gets the credit. And sometimes the 10 Planet guys, students will, talk about it like it's their move, and that's where it comes from. But it was really all over grappling. Everyone did it. It was a very simple move. So getting back now, 200%. How do you escape or counter it? Here's what I teach. What I do. Most people are not that good at 200%. In my experience, like when I first started doing it, I got really good at it. Very few people could ever stop me. I started to teach it and I noticed my students couldn't do it to the level that I could do it. And I still to this day, I have one student that uses it all the time, but even he can't do it to the level that I can do it. And the best way to counter it is to treat it like 100% and basically do the spin through. And basically, the 200% is supposed to be the backup plan or the counter to the spin through. But if you just spin through right away, most people who do 200% will foul it up. In my experience, 9 out of 10 times you're going to clear it right away just with a perfect spin through. Even though the 200% is supposed to beat it, most people can't do it. I can do it, but I've had students, man, that train it, and they still foul it up, and they're good. They're purple belts, brown belts, and they can't stop the spin through. So, in my opinion, I think that you can just do that, and that's what I would do. Other than that, I do have some other things that I do, but it's complicated. I won't be able to talk you through it. I'd have to get on the mat and show you. So, why, Muhammad asked why butterfly guards in MMA are from the back, but it has been taught as a sitting guard. Muhammad, look, that's sportive. Sitting guard is mostly sportive. Now, I'm not saying you're never going to see a guy in sitting guard in an MMA fight. Like it'll happen, but it's like a momentary quick transition. It's not you don't sit there in the sitting guard. Um, so that's sportive, guys. Don't get confused here. I mean, like a lot of what we do in grappling and jujitsu, it's sport, man. That's just the way it goes. That's how you train with another guy who knows jujitsu, and you get into these positions, and you learn to attack from there. So it's a great guard for overall just straight up grappling, but you're not going to be sitting there in an MMA fight for any great length of time. You got to move. So that's why that's one of the problems with jiu-jitsu. So a lot of people don't know how much it's sport, and it's crazy. It's almost like they've never been in a fight before, I guess. And they didn't train from the old school where we were, getting ready for MMA fights and scrapping at practice. So anyway, okay. David asks, I got the back attack system and love it, but the fat man roll has been ruining it for me, especially after the video you made on the wrist roll, fat man roll. You got to make a video on how to counter. Okay, David. Maybe I'll do that sometime. Fat man roll or the wrist roll, it's a move. It's a move, but you can stop it pretty easy if you just develop some really good balance. Basically, what you do, you learn is you learn to not give your opponent certain angles. And then when they start to move, you react by sinking your weight back, down and back. If the guy continues to rotate you, you have to float. So as you float with it, you move around him and post your leg in the mat on the side he's trying to roll you. And obviously that means it requires that you make an angle and you do that before it's too late. Um, with good timing, every move can work, but it can also easily be stopped with by good balance and sinking your weight in your hips and learning how to float around and post your leg to the side he's trying to roll you. So Mac asks, how tall are you? I don't know if you want the truth, but I'm actually only about 5'6.5", so I'm fairly short. Not very big at all. I used to compete at like 132 pounds. Um, I'm probably about 150 walking around right now. So there was a time when I was all up to 160 when I was eating lots of barbecue, but about 150 now because I'm eating normal again, not overeating. So Jai asks, I want to ask you about hard work versus talent. I am not talented, but I am a hardworking guy. Can my hard work help me in acquiring world class grappling skills? Okay, the answer, Jai, is yes. Now I'm going to recite a very common, um, what's the word, saying. Um, you know, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. So if you don't have talent, but you're facing talent, you can beat talent as long as that talent isn't working as hard as you. So that's the thing. Hard work is definitely better. So I would rather have a good work ethic than just be talented. If you're just talented, I've met talented people my whole life, way more talented than me, but they don't put in the work. And for me, guys, I'm just a guy that put in the work. That's all I am. I mean, like, I might have some ability. I guess I probably do. I think my gift, I have some type of gift at keeping stuff in my head. That's what I always tell people. I don't, for some reason, I have like a memory where I can grab, like, I think most people can only play with like 2 to 3 to 4 things at once. And I, for some reason, can like handle more. Like maybe I can handle 7 or 8 things at once and constantly like switch them in and out. But besides that, that might be a gift that I have. Um, I'm not that talented. I'm really not. It's been hard work. I mean, in the beginning, I got crushed in wrestling. I mean, I was just getting smashed every day. I was decent, but I was not a great wrestler at all. I just kept doing it. So, and jujitsu, the same thing. I mean, I had quite a bit of success early on, but that was because I already got crushed in wrestling. So, so yes, most definitely, you can reach world class level if you just keep working. Now, that might take you 10, 15 years. You know, you might have to spend 15 years while a talented guy only has to do it for 5 to 7, with a good coach. So, but, you can definitely eventually attain it. Okay. Squidrito. What is your favorite, most effective side control escape? Guys, for me, I would have to definitely pick the Ghost as probably my favorite. But the other stuff that I do from Side Control Escape is the Wedding Sweep series. Um, as in addition to the basics. So I still use the basics, trying to frame up and try to hip escape and get your guard back. But when those things fail, I like to go to the Ghost and I like to go to the Wedding Sweep. So if you guys want to reference those videos, reference those. That's what I like to use. So, and it throws a lot of people off, and it's just something I kind of do really well. So it tends to work for me quite a bit. All right. Please make a video on how to prevent the body lock pass. Surge. Okay, I can talk about that. I definitely could do a video on that. That's becoming a very popular pass. You know, I got my guard pass by a body lock pass a couple years ago by a very good black belt, Josh Hinger. Josh Hinger from Alta Autos came down and he passed my guard with a body lock pass. And you know what I did? I hit him with a ghost. So I hit him with a ghost, and yes, even the ghost worked on Josh Hinger. Uh, but he was able to fully defend my Darce attack after that. So I wasn't able to Darce him. He shut me down with the like he defended. He totally used his elbows and he didn't want to get Darced. But but yeah, he used a killer body lock pass on me, and he's much bigger than me. I don't remember what he weighed, but man, at least 185, 190. So it was unstoppable. So what I learned from the body lock pass, what I can just tell you with words right now without showing you a video is, man, you cannot let someone big, strong lock their hands around your body. I want you guys to think like not how you defend it, but you need to prevent at all times. It's a common rule I give my students. Never let someone lock around your body, period, in any position. It's just kind of a general rule. It might have some very few exceptions, but think this way. Should somebody ever lock their hands around your leg for a single leg? No, you don't want them to. Should they be able to body lock you in the standing position, facing you in a bear hug? No, you shouldn't let them. Should they be able to sneak behind you and body lock you? No, hand control. Don't let them. If you're on the mat and someone wants to lock around your legs, like a double leg, trying to pass your guard, should you let them? No, don't let them. Escape before it happens. Do not let their hands connect. What about when somebody goes double unders to pass your guard? Should you allow them to lock their hands? No. Control their hands. Don't let them. If you take that approach in almost, what about a seatbelt? A seatbelt from the back. Should you let someone connect their hands in a seatbelt? No. Don't let them. Hand control. Fight the hands. Do not let someone lock around you in any way. A rear naked choke. Okay? Nothing. Don't let them lock. If you prevent the hands from connecting, you take away a lot of their ability to control you. So you take that as a lesson right there. That's like a whole video. I need to do a video on that. Do not let people lock around your body. period. Anyway, so got excited there. Okay, Zini Tecker, I'm coming for you from visiting Turkey, Istanbul. Very cool. Nice. Um, Misfit 138, how much more different is it grappling with shoes on? What do you have to be mindful of? Well, if you're doing leg locks, Misfit, shoes usually are not a good thing for you. When you are barefoot, you can insert in and out of leg lock positions much easier than when you have shoes. Your shoe is going to prevent you from slipping out. It's also an advantage. As much as people like to have wrestling shoes that are wrestlers for takedown purposes, gives you grip on the mat. It does. And I like it for takedowns. But remember this, if somebody gets in on a single leg on me, it's a beautiful thing to be barefoot. You have a much better shot at slipping your foot out when you're barefoot. So, what else do you have to be mindful of? I mean, man, if somebody else has shoes, you don't want a shoe in your face. I mean, nobody wants a foot in their face, but man, the shoes, it's just it's kind of annoying. You know, you get scratched up by their shoes. It's just it's annoying, but yeah, it's gonna be hard for you to get your feet in and out of places. So, all right, crazy chemist. What kinds of takedowns do you recommend for someone with bad knees in MMA? I don't like shooting for doubles a lot, and I tend to go for singles to transition to throws. Yeah, that's cool. Nothing wrong with that. You know, I would look for like body locks. You know, if you don't like to go to your knees and shoot, single legs are a great option. A lot of times you can just level change pressure with your head into their chest and just get single legs. I teach that to my guys quite a bit. Body locks are awesome because again, you don't have to go to your knees. You can get into throwing positions. Um, you know, underhooks. I love the club dig position, the collar tie and the underhook. So you go collar tie underhook. You got the throw by. You can throw the arm by. You can snap them down in a front headlock. You know, from that position, you can lift up, get into body locks. So I like that a lot. All right. Angel asks, Eagle's Claw versus Tiger Claw, which wins? Also, could you come to my school and beat up my professor? He needs to be humbled. Oh, that's hilarious. I don't know Eagle's Claw versus Tiger Claw. I just don't even know what the hell that means. But I can't come to your school and beat up your professor. I don't think that would be appropriate. Plus, I'm not exactly, you know, training hardcore anymore, but you know, I'm decent. Anyway, Crazy Chemist. I've been using your special at my gym and I've been having a lot of success with it. Great. Yeah, use the special, man. Use it. Use it as one of your throws since you don't like going to your knees. Works awesome. One of my guys, John, just hit the special. You guys, I don't know if you guys know John from the videos. John hit the special last tournament. He took first, subbed the guy with a triangle in the first like 30 seconds. Okay, Adriano, hence why you need super chat. Every question that is paid for is highlighted and gets first response option. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, so like I said before, maybe I'll look into it. You know, not that it's all about the money. I'm just I wanted to make sure I haven't been as active with you guys as I was in the past, and I definitely feel a little guilty. And I wanna make sure I'm always giving back to you guys. I don't want to lose my step, my footing. I want to make sure you guys always like understand that I love doing this and I love helping you guys. So from the bottom of my heart. So I want to keep everything up. So even if I'm only putting out like three videos a week on average right now, maybe four at most, I want to make sure I give back to you guys because you guys support me so much. Thank you so much. Um, what's your advice for getting off your back when someone keeps a tight side guard, side control? I think you mean side control. Okay. What's your advice for getting off your back when they're tight, side control. So again, learning how to side control escape. I've got plenty of videos, and there's lots of great videos out there. Like even Danaher's got like a really good video on like BJJ Fanatics on escaping side control. You guys can reference that stuff. He does a great job. I obviously I'm gonna like tell you about my videos. I've got some side control escape stuff, guys. But as far as like advice, I think a lot of people, one of the biggest problems people miss is they miss the bridge. They try to hip escape without the bridge. And so I think I talk about this on one of my videos. Again, I would just put teach me grappling. I'm getting tired. Teach me grappling, side control, escape. And you'll probably come up with the video I'm thinking of. And the bridge. When you bridge and you get on your side and you get on your shoulder, as opposed to being on your back, you can hip escape much more effectively. So if you hip escape better, or excuse me, if you get on your side, you'll hip escape better, and then you'll be able to create the space that you're looking for to either get up or to get them back in your guard. But I think most people they don't use the bridge, and then when they try, they bridge wrong. Like they bridge straight up instead of bridging at an angle. Like when I bridge over to the side. And then by bridging to the side, it allows you to shrimp a lot better. So watch that on the video, and I think it'll definitely help you on getting out of side control a lot more. So that's all I gotta say. Um, so Donald says, just want to thank you, say a big thank you. Your videos and instructions are awesome. Thank you. Anonymous Truth, how old are you? And then Adriano says, I think he's 42. Yeah, guys, I'm closing in on 42. I'll be 42 in April. So my birthday is the 16th. So April 16th is coming up. Practically 42 already. It comes for us all. Muhammad, hi coach. I use your technique of escaping the arm triangle at the gym all the time. Your stuff are amazing. Respect from 10th Planet Montreal. Awesome, dude. Great. Thank you so much. I'm not sure actually of which escape for the arm triangle. Oh, I assume you're talking about a lock around your thigh, around your leg. That's the one I believe I showed on video. So I've got a few others, but that's the one that I like to teach, and that's why I think I let out. So Red Crayon, I do want to say just thank you. Your videos are awesome. Cool. Thank you very much. Um, I keep losing my spot because it ends up moving because put uh, everybody's asked questions. So I'm trying to get back to my spot. Hold on. Okay. Why do I always forget what I learned when I roll with a friend? And then I'm like, oh, I could have done this. I could have done that. Yeah, that's crazy for most people. I was just talking with my guys about this the other day. So Cam George asks, why does he always forget what he learned when he's rolling? So, and then afterward, you're like, damn, I could have done this, could have done that. So here's one thing that you need to do. You're probably being taught moves. So, like for example, the the coach will teach you, let's say, a butterfly sweep, and then you'll go to even the butterfly guard, and then you'll grab the guy, but you won't grab him the way your coach taught you. You'll grab him the way you feel strong or something, and then all of a sudden, like he's passing your guard, and then you'll think back and you'll go, "Man, I had the butterfly guard. Why didn't I go for the butterfly sweep?" And so you're not really using live what you were trained. This is the problem with a lot of jujitsu schools because so many of them they teach, and even sometimes my school we do it, and then we just roll. And then at the end, when you're rolling, and nobody does anything that I taught them, all they do is just do what they did before I taught them anything. So my point is this: some things are always going to seep into your brain when, especially when you're new at jujitsu. you're an open book. You're ready to learn. But then once you've learned a few things, you do not like learn new things because you already have something. So your glass is already full. So you have to empty your cup. You have to empty your cup every single time you learn. And then that means when it gets filled up, you only do that. So one of the things that you can do, I mean, like, again, you guys may not be in control because your coach is in control, but if you guys, any of you guys that are coaches out there, you got to make the students drill it in and do live drills within a context of the moves you just taught. So for example, this week and last week, we're doing lockdown at my place at PG. Because we're doing lockdown, guess what? I make the guy go 2 minutes on the bottom. You get a lockdown. You get to start with the lockdown. You got to make it work. If the guy on top passes or takes your back or escapes your lockdown, he goes back into your lockdown. You get 2 solid minutes on the bottom of lockdown. You get 2 solid minutes on top in the lockdown to deal with it. Then we switch partners and you do it again. Then we switch partners and you do it again. Then we switch partners and you do it again. So if we go 2 minutes, 2 minutes, that's 4 minutes. Takes a little bit of time to change partners, but not much. You can literally do in 17, 18 minutes, let's just call it 20. You can easily get four different people, four different rounds. And so, with all the different body types and all the different experience, you can get good at the lockdown or anything. If it's triangle or whatever, like try to shoot a triangle on somebody for 2 minutes and it's with resistance. That way, it's going to help seep into your brain and you're not going to forget. So y that's the problem with drill when you do drills, you get taught a new technique, you're drilling it under no stress, and your brain doesn't learn that way. Your brain needs to learn it, get the idea down, and then you have to challenge yourself to do it under stress. When you do it under stress, meaning not mental stress, but under which is part of it too, but what I mean is just stress. You need resistance. You need somebody fighting you, somebody throwing different things at you. You have to try to really, really dodge that ball in a real dodgeball game. You can't just, all right, the guy's going to throw the ball at you. You know when he's going to throw it, and then you just move to the left. That's not going to work. You got to actually play some dodgeball and then see if you can dodge it under stress. I think that's pretty clear. So, can you teach the Williams guard, anonymous truth? No, not really. Um, I'm not a big fan, guys. I don't do that. Um, the Williams guard I don't do. It's kind of like the old rubber guard. When Eddie first he got rid of London, what was called London, which is basically the Williams guard. Um, I dabbled with it a little bit back in like maybe we did it back in like 2000, maybe 1999. We dabbled with it long before it was called the Williams Guard. Um, everybody around that time, we all kind of stumbled on the same things. Obviously, some things were borrowed from different people, but it's very difficult to even trace where some of the technique came from. But anyway, getting to the point, I'm not a big fan of it. I just don't feel real comfortable wrapping my arm around my leg. Um, I know it kind of traps your opponent's arm, and I've seen guys have success. I mean, um, I think Dean Lister used a little bit of it in MMA in the UFC, but I'm just not a big fan of it. So, yeah, I probably can't teach it. I just I'm not real flexible, and I know a lot of people. I had a few 10 Planet videos this week, and I commented and I said, I don't do the rubber guard, I'm not that flexible. And then somebody says, it doesn't require flexibility to do the rubber guard. Guys, look, let me say this with all the due respect. Guys, I kind of know what I'm doing. Like I know a lot. So just please trust me. Like I know how much flexibility is required to do certain things. And I'm very familiar with the rubber guard. Like even though I don't do it, I'm very familiar with it. It's not like I'm speaking out of place. Um, some flexibility level is required. And sure, getting on your side is the better way to do it. And I heard someone mention, was it Brandon, you know, talking about getting on your side. Yeah, that's all I preach, guys, is get on your side. Get on your side. And that's why I don't use the rubber guard. Again, I'm not trying to say it doesn't work. I think it works well for the guys that have the flexibility, but I just said it again. The guys that are good at it, the guys that are good at the rubber guard, keep doing it, man. If it works, good for you. For me, I teach my students to get on their side, but we that doesn't mean I do the rubber guard. I don't think you even need it, to be honest. I think you can get on your side and just use your guard to attack from there. Some, and then people don't understand what the rubber guard is. And then anytime your legs climb up high, they call it the rubber guard. Like, that's not what the rubber guard is, guys. Like, otherwise, everything the the rubber guards always existed then, because all of guard is basically moving your legs up the person's back and then catching them in arm bars and triangles and such and omoplatas. So, you know, the rubber guard was more something specific that Eddie Bravo was doing a system. That's what it is. A system of movements that are very, very unique to him. It's not the rubber guard just because you grab your own ankle or your own foot in any way, or you hug your knee. That doesn't make it the rubber guard. I just want to state that. Anyway, stay off the pot. Not you, coach. I don't know what the hell that means. So, anyway, I don't know if you're referring to weed. I don't smoke weed at all. So, guys, I have a cough. That cough that's been going around, and dude, this thing's been with me for a month now. So, hey, coach, what's your thoughts about combat jujitsu? I think it's amazing, Zabit. Zabit's asking, what do I think about combat jujitsu? I think it's a great intermediate between jujitsu and MMA. I don't, at first, I wasn't sure we needed it, but after watching, EBI and combat jujitsu live several times, watching one of my buddies, Chad George, win, um, I love it. It's great, and I think it's good. I think it's good for jujitsu because I think it teaches guys what good jujitsu is. I think that combat jujitsu reveals the weaknesses and the flaws in your jujitsu. If somebody can slap the shit out of you while you're trying to do jujitsu and your moves all of a sudden don't work because you're getting slapped in the face, then you need to change your jujitsu, in my opinion. So, and I like to think that my jujitsu is, geared towards that kind of style. Again, that doesn't mean every video I put out is made for combat jiu-jitsu or MMA. That's not what I'm saying, because plenty of sports stuff I teach. But what I am saying is I'm very familiar with dealing with strikes. So and I think too much of jiu-jitsu world is not ready for that. So, and I think when you watch combat jiu-jitsu, it reveals that. I think if you watch the guys that are winning, they tend to be wrestlers, great top players, and they know how to strike. So, I'm not saying they're all wrestlers, but I think a lot of them are either wrestlers with great jujitsu or they are great jujitsu guys that just happen to have killer top control and balance and takedowns and grit, and and they can strike as well. Hi, coach. In which state is your sports center? I think you mean, I guess you mean my academy, my school. It's in California. So we're in California, just north of LA. What do you do if someone has massive wrists and you can't really grip well? Yeah, that kind of sucks, doesn't it? Trying to grab somebody who's got big old wrists and you can't hold on. So it's great when you can grab around a wrist and just squeeze it and control somebody. It's a good feeling. I hate that feeling if the guy's so big you can't even grip his wrists. What do you do? Well, you do the best you can. Um, you make your grips, grab collar tie, grab overhooks, underhooks. You can't control the wrists. So, which hour is it in LA? I'm from France. Right now it's getting close to midnight. It is midnight. It's 12:02. That's why I'm falling asleep here. My eyes. Anyway, do you think we will ever see dominant freestyle wrestler and also a dominant at sub grappling, even if it's just ADCC? Um, Probably not. Because anytime you have a guy who's like really high level in uh, one sport, like for example, freestyle wrestling, he's dedicated all of his life to that to become that good. And then it's hard for him to make a transition somewhere else. So, in the same way, you're not going to see Gordon Ryan try to compete in freestyle wrestling and win a gold medal in the Olympics. You're also probably not going to see a gold medalist in the Olympics, Kyle Snyder switch over to jiu-jitsu and then win ADCC. It's probably not going to happen, you know, probably not. Could happen, probably not. So I have two training partners that 1 week from each other had to do surgery off spinal fusion. Any suggestions to avoid and protect your neck? I got a bit scared, to be honest. Yeah, Leonardo. I'm getting tired, guys. Um, you got to work your neck muscles. I just talked in my class tonight. You got to strengthen your neck. You don't, that helps protect your neck. You got to do your neck exercises and work out your neck. Some people don't like neck bridging. I think it's good, but again, if you're new at it or you're not very strong, you got to take your time, go slow. Got to have a strong neck. Um, Train with safe people. Don't let people rip up your neck. They start pulling on your head. Just tap. You know. So Ron says, win or lose, I believe Tony Ferguson will make Khabib wear an ass whooping out of the cage. Yeah, you never know. So he's tough. Do you think a judo player would be better off taking up something like BJJ or freestyle wrestling to complement takedowns and ground? Well, of course, a judo guy's already got pretty good takedowns in general. If he's a high level guy, wrestling would help him, but certainly doing jujitsu, BJJ would help a lot more because it would teach him judo guys work on finishing holds, but they're just not as well versed as a jiu-jitsu school when it comes to submissions and positions for submissions. So, um, I would say go to jiu-jitsu first, and then if you can add in some wrestling, that would certainly help. Okay, Matt Hughes choked out Ricardo Almeida from a front headlock. Was it just pure strength? No, it was not. There's technique and there's positioning. Um, and if not, what's the technique and why don't more wrestlers use it in grappling MMA? Razzie asks. Or Raziel. Um, well, part of it's strength. There's technique to it. I could show you guys. That's the old Dave Schultz. So if you guys don't know who Dave Schultz is, Dave Schultz was murdered back in 1996 by John DuPont at his compound or whatever it is, where the subject of the movie Foxcatcher. So if you guys haven't seen it, watch Foxcatcher. Anyway, Dave Schultz is kind of the famous American wrestler that kind of taught most everybody in the United States how to use a front headlock to choke somebody out. And that's where Matt Hughes got that move. I was taught it when I was in high school, just the same. I'm sure Matt Hughes was as well. So, yeah, I could definitely show you guys that. It's not pure strength. It certainly helps to be strong. Why don't more use it? They're not taught anymore, to be honest, guys. Dave Schultz has been dead since 1996. Um, to be honest, the move is kind of not taught much. Again, I was shown it in high school, in 1993 or so, and maybe 94. I don't remember, but yeah, you just need to be taught it. Simple as that. It's good technique. I don't use it much. I like the Anaconda better, but it certainly works, especially for the shorter, stockier armed people. So, can you do a back control video? Yes, I can, S. Smith. Matt Pamelio, what's up, dude? You're patrolling and listening. Yeah, awesome. So, an old student, guys, Matt Pamelio, he's he's patrolling right now. He's like a security guard, so in his town. So that's kind of cool. Anyway, what's up, Matt? Hope you're doing well. Adriano Ramos, I like your video with the catch wrestling guys. Do you plan to do more videos with them? I actually have another video I have not cut yet. It's not a whole lot of technique. It's a discussion that I have with um, Jake Shannon. So the catch wrestling guy, Jake Shannon, I have basically an interview with him, and I discuss the subject of catch wrestling with him. So I will have to cut that together and get that to you guys pretty soon. Uh, I tried to not pull any punches on that, and I tried to just create a discussion and throw some of my opinions out there. We had some back and forth, and all I can say is there was a few things that I need to cut out. I promised him I would not uh, release. So I will have most of the interview and the exchange that we had, but there's a few things that I won't release because I don't want to put out anything that he wouldn't feel comfortable with me putting out. So the anonymous truth, Sambo over BJJ. No. Anyway, guys, I'm a wrestler and a jiu-jitsu guy. Sambo's great. On the ground, when it comes to submissions, not jiu-jitsu. Sorry, not jiu-jitsu. Has better takedowns, not jiu-jitsu though. Here's the thing, it's not about which one's better. It's about use the things that work, and why not have sambo and jiu-jitsu instead of talking about sambo's better than jiu-jitsu. Jiu-jitsu is better than sambo. It's better than judo. Wrestling's better than this, that, whatever. Guys, learn it all. Guys, look, I'm a mixed martial artist. By no means do I ever try to tell people, just learn jujitsu. That's part of the reason why I called it Teach Me Grappling and not Jujitsu. Because I try to talk about how grappling, all the arts of grappling are important. And now, but I just stated earlier because I wanted to talk shit back because you put Sambo over BJJ. So that made me want to say nope. But here's the real point. It's not about jiu-jitsu being better than sambo. When it comes to the finishing holds, it is. But the sambo has the takedowns better. So it's obviously they have strengths and weaknesses. But why not learn it all? You know? Why not learn sambo and jiu-jitsu? So uh Free Hernandez, why are you so handsome? Laughing my ass off, just messing around. You're one of the best on here. Keep up the good work. Thanks, brother. Arda asks, where should I grab the arm and hand when I have inside wrist control? The arm or the pinky? I don't know what you mean by inside wrist control. Where should I grab the arm hand when I have inside wrist control? I do not understand what you mean, the arm or the pinky. I don't get it. I'm sorry. What do you think of Rough and Tumble, a old martial art in the USA? Guys, I've heard the term. I do not know what the hell that is. I've heard the term about like wrestling, rough and tumble wrestling, like I believe like catch or some shit like that. Could be some catch wrestling stuff. I don't know. It's my best guess. I believe I've heard of it, but I know nothing about it. Sorry, I'm not. I don't know everything. So does BJJ build muscle? A little bit, not a whole lot, a little bit. Coach, I'm coming for you from visiting Istanbul. Okay, yeah, with three fists. Okay, Zini, Tekker, I hope you come for me from Istanbul. And then we can fight. We fight. Send me location. So he's short, but he has big balls. Okay, Ron says maybe 5'6.5", but grapples like he's 6'13". Oh, that's funny. Anyway, I keep getting my ankle caught by the bottom guy's legs when I'm passing. Any suggestions for freeing the ankle? Like, I assume you mean like in an ankle lock when you're trying to pass the bottom guy's legs? You got to bend your knees. You can't stand up too tall. When you stand up too tall, you really expose yourself. So when you do stand in jiu-jitsu, you have to squat. You have to squat down and control your opponent. Like, you can't just allow them to do whatever they like. That's one of my biggest pet peeves. Is people stand up straight way too often. And there are times. There's a time to stand up straight. For certain when I teach certain things, sometimes I teach people to stand up, but for the most part, you have to know how to like bend your knees and prevent your opponent from being able to control you. Um, but as far as freeing the ankle goes, I don't know what you mean exactly. Maybe you're talking about in the armpit, like a foot lock. But yeah, if that happens, you got to go to an ankle lock, like defense. Clearing his legs, trying to pass towards the mount, threatening the mount will make him let go of your ankle. All right. Can wrestling translate to cage fighting? Of course it can. So then some guy goes, ask Josh Barnett. Yeah, I don't know what the ask Josh Barnett. I don't know if that was wrestling or what, if that was the reference to catch wrestling earlier or sambo or whatever. Okay, what's your opinion on people saying size doesn't matter? Yeah, guys, that those people, I get what they're probably trying to say, but oh, that's Matt. Of course, size matters. Of course, size matters. Everything matters. I mean, it's like the law of determinism. We have like one thing causes something else. You know, it's cause and effect. It's like if one guy is bigger, of course, it's going to change things. Sometimes for the better, sometimes for the worse, but it matters. Certainly, it matters. Okay, if you could have one superpower, what would it be? Go. If I could have one superpower, hmm, there's lots of superpowers, but I don't know. I guess I don't want like a regular superhero superpower because, like strength or speed or flying or something like that. Like, yeah, those would be cool and all, but I kind of like the real world that we live in. So if I had one superpower, instead of like being like overly strong or fast or something like that, or flying or something, I think I would just like maybe I would like to read people's minds, like know what they're thinking. That would be kind of cool. Like imagine if I could like do jujitsu and grapple with someone and know exactly what they're about to do. Like I know what they're gonna do before they even know. Like sometimes when you're good at jujitsu, it's already that way. But what if I really knew exactly what they were thinking? Like I could literally like stop and go, "Oh, you want to get me in a triangle, huh?" Like I already do that sometimes, but like really know everything that they're thinking, that would be a pretty cool superpower. Anyway, Butterfly guard versus close guard in MMA. Butterfly guard for me because I'm not going to stay down there. Guys, close guard is very important for MMA. You gotta know it. You gotta know close guard. But if it's up to me, I'm gonna pick butterfly guard because butterfly guard means I can attack like a sweep, possible submission from there, but mostly sweeps. And then if things don't go so well, I can get back up or try to take you down immediately. Like maybe get back up and take you down. So that's why I prefer it. Um, Close guard, the problem is when someone's really good at defending submissions, you can take a beating. You can take a beating. So sure, the better your skills are, the more you won't take beatings, but remember, it's all about levels. There's other guys out there that are really good on top. If you meet one of those guys, you could have a good close guard and you're still going to take a pretty decent beating. So anyway, I'm getting really tired, guys. Okay, Jacob, I never wrestled, but from seeing and hearing how hard it is to get good, how do you think guys like GSP become so dominant in it without having a wrestling background? Dude, GSP is a freak. He's a freak athlete. Hard work, dedication, really good, really good uh, potential and like athleticism. That's all I gotta say. And a lot of hard work to go with it. Most people can't do what he did. Oh, okay, guys. I'm really falling asleep. Why aren't you training grappling to professional MMA fighters? Uh, Hugo Boy asks. Well, I don't do that anymore. I used to do it. I do have one guy who's still in the UFC, so we're probably going to be fighting hopefully in the summertime. He's coming off of an injury. Vince Pichel, he's like 13 or something and two. And so we have two losses in the UFC officially. And yeah, so I still have him. And then Pius is also a pro fighter, but he's getting old, so he doesn't fight that much. And then I've got some amateur guys that I'm working on. But when it says why aren't you training grappling to professional MMA fighters, I mean, I don't know the exact. Actually, I am. I mean, like I do. I just don't train, the highest level guys that you guys get to see in the UFC all the time. I happen to only have one, which is more than what most trainers have. But I've trained multiple guys that have fought in the UFC and at different points, and I don't know. I'm good at what I do, but I just think that a lot of guys are good too, and they happen to be in the right place at the right time, and they're good, and they're in good places. So, if I was maybe in a different position in life, in a different place, maybe I could get hired by some gym or something. But I would never want to do that now, guys. I got my own thing. But anyway, I've been practicing BJJ for a year and submit brown belts at my gym. How do I get upgraded to purple? If you've only been training a year and you're submitting brown belts at your gym, number one, you're a freakishly talented guy. Number two, those brown belts suck. Maybe your coach promoted them too early. Sorry, no offense. It's, either this, either you're a badass, your coach promotes them and they probably shouldn't. And then as far as your answer goes, to get upgraded to purple, you're gonna have to wait. You're gonna have to wait a little bit longer, guys. And it's not all about ass whoopings. Ass whoopings helps, but it's not just whooping ass. Part of it's demonstration of technique. How much strength are you using? How much do you truly understand the game? I'm not gonna promote. I promote my guys if they can whoop some ass, but along with that, they have to have some understanding. You know, ass whoopings is just one piece of the pie. All right, what's the biggest opponent person you can take with your BJJ? Um, I don't know, but probably as big as you can imagine, because I've submitted guys that were 360 pounds, guys. I don't know if I've ever grappled with a guy that was bigger than that. Obviously, somebody that's like really big, sometimes it's a disadvantage. So, um, like it doesn't always mean that being bigger helps you all the time. Like, I know that maybe you were the one or somebody else mentioned that. Does size matter? Yeah, it matters. But if a guy gets too big, it becomes like, a problem for them. They get tired really fast. They're very slow. They have bad balance. I mean, there's so many reasons. So they can make up for a lot of it with strength, but I know how to deal with strength quite a bit. I know how to avoid it. And if you know how to avoid strength, like you can like position yourself efficiently so that they can't use their power over you, then you can negate the strength and then they'll use their strength and then they will get tired and then they'll lose. So, but I can submit and beat pretty big dudes. Anyway, thank you, Hugo Boy. Yeah, he told me I'm a master, whatever. Thank you. Okay, do I need to submit a black belt? GC asks. Yeah, that'll help. But remember, try not to use too much strength. Try to learn the technique. Try to like learn what your coach is teaching you. Um, and then just train for a while and don't be focused on the belts. That's what I have to say. Oh man, I'm getting tired, guys. I can only do a couple more. How effective do you think fuck? I gotta fall asleep right now, and I got my guys asking me dumbass questions like that. Ryan, your flying guillotine is horrible. Like it never works. I don't think you've ever caught me in a flying guillotine. You're never gonna catch me for as long as I live. Brian asks, "Hey there, coach. I'm a big fan. I hope you continue to do these videos. It's truly edifying. Thank you. You're awesome. Thank you. I like arm bars and head and arm. My highest percentage. Very cool. Okay, guys, I'm gonna die here. Like I gotta go to bed. I gotta wake up early, and so trade the stock market a little bit. So I'm not gonna be able to get much sleep. All right, guys, thank you so much. I appreciate you all. I'm sorry if I didn't get to your questions. So I got to get going, but I really appreciate you guys so much. Again, it's the channel. It's just grown so much over the last year and a half, and I try to do these lives when I can. I stay very busy, guys. I'm very very busy, but I'm not like doing as many videos as I used to do. But I'm trying to keep it up and keep some standard. I appreciate you guys so much for all you do to support me, and I hope I can continue to support you and give you guys what you like and what you need. So if you guys ever need anything, just hit me up. I got lots of you guys that hit me up already. It keeps me busy as hell. So anyway, thank you guys. You guys have a good night, and I'll be back tomorrow. More great stuff. See ya.